So if you're looking at the title of this video, you'll see that I've sold my drone. Now, I got my first drone back in 2017. I remember I was watching a lot of Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat around the time, and I was loving everything to do with the DJI Mavic Pro that was out. And then I remember one day Daryl and I had lunch and he showed me the Mavic Pro in the back of his car in the car park near the Botanical Gardens, and I was like, damn, this is cool. Like, I was flying it and he had like a cool orange design decal on it, and I was like, man, I really want one of these. Fast forward to December 2017 and we were heading down to Brisbane to see Paul McCartney in concert. We being myself, Mel's mum and stepdad, and we were going through one of the malls. I can't remember which one exactly, and every time I go past JB Hi-Fi, I just had to go in and have a look, and I'd always be looking at that price tag, and it was always just that little bit out of reach for me. I could save, and at the time I was a horrible saver. Mel can verify that. That has changed a lot since then, don't worry. I know what a budget is now. I also know what a savings account is, so I'm doing good. Anyway, Mel's mum asked me, what do you want a drone for? And I was like, I want to do real estate stuff, you know, I want to. And so she essentially spotted me the drone. She said, we'll get it for you. You'll get no presents for Christmas or birthdays for the next few years. And I'm like, that's cool. But I had to promise that I would take that drone and do something with it. And, you know, being very excited, we got the drone, and every time we went to a small town or somewhere different, I would take the drone with us and we'd pull over to the side of the road or a rest stop or whatever, grab a coffee. I would jump in the back of the car, take the drone out, set it all up, send it up, and, you know, did it with Warrulan and Banban Springs. Every time we traveled interstate, we would always be taking that damn drone with us. Eventually, when we returned home after getting the drone, it was just after my birthday. It was actually when The Last Jedi was coming out. I had this idea of doing this cool little Gladstone-based tourism video, I guess is the best way to put it. And what I wanted to do was just showcase how much I loved East Shores and the Gladstone Harbour / marina. In those early hours, I was always down there playing Pokemon, and it always just felt pretty magical to be there. So I planned it all out shot by shot. I remember I drove down there in the afternoon. I was like, cool, I want to get a shot of this where the sun's here, and then a shot of this. So yeah, woke up at 4 a.m. and I went down and I got the drone out and did these shots, and I was like, cool. Went home, put them into the computer, put them into Premiere Pro, and then I went back the next morning, 4 a.m, grabbing Macca's along the way, sat there waiting for the sun, just eating a burger. Filmed it, put it up, and I was so happy with it. I still love that video to this day. I remember I even spent $50 on the music because I wanted to be a good boy, you know. The last few videos weren't copyrighted music, and I was like, oh, I gotta change this up. So did the right thing, bought the music. Looking back on it, I probably would have gone a bit more heavy-handed on the saturation, if anything, make those colors a bit more vibrant, make it maybe pop a little bit. So a couple of months after that, I ended up going to Geelong for about a month. I remember climbing this mountain with my friend Nick there, and we got to the top and we were meditating, you know, just climbed up for an hour. I was like, all right, let's zen out. And I remember being like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna get a job doing this. I'm gonna be creative. So I went and had an interview, and what was really cool is the people that run Queensland Aerial I had known through working at Under the Trees Music Festival. So what we were able to do is, like, we sort of had that common ground already. They knew I was a photographer because that's what I did at the festival, and they knew I had a passion for the drone stuff as well. So it was sort of like a match made in heaven. So they took me on board, which was really cool. They've got a big range of drones, the Matrice, the Inspire 2, Phantom, all that sort of stuff. So I got to try all these different drones, and eventually they bought the Mavic 2, and I was like, oh man, this thing is cool. And it literally just dwarfed the Mavic Pro 1. So yeah, I was in a really cool position. I had taken the hobby and I'd gotten a job flying drones, you know, fully certified through the company. Everything was great. So I literally kept that part of the promise. I turned buying a drone into using it as a profession. And then it wasn't until the start of this year that I started to get calls and stuff about, hey, can you do real estate stuff? And I was like, the Mavic Pro 1 wasn't gonna cut it. So Mel and I went to Bundaberg, grabbed the Mavic 2 there, came home, and I was a little bit sad because I didn't want to, as you can probably tell, like, there's a lot of things behind me that I'm a collector. If I have something, I don't want to get rid of it. I like to hold on to it. But there was a part of me that was like, I didn't want to have it sitting in the cupboard, batteries on empty, just in case something happened with the Mavic 2. And I thought this thing had brought me a lot of joy. It was essentially the catalyst for amazing things to happen to me. So I put it on the classifieds and I sold it. I sold it to a lovely couple who love to travel. They've got the whole van life thing happening. So really glad it went to someone who I know is going to get a lot of joy out of it. So I know a lot of friends were checking in on me to make sure, hey man, like, you're the drone guy. Why are you selling your drone? But that is why. So absolutely nothing wrong. It was a business thing, but it was something special to me. I remember I was standing out in the driveway about to sell it, and I was like, just having a moment. I was just holding the drone, you know, Marie Kondo. It doesn't spark joy, you know, but it did spark joy for me. So I had a moment with it and I said thank you to it. And yeah, I felt that was the proper thing to do. So I've sold it. I have the Mavic 2. I'm still flying drones. I have the coolest jobs in the world. So yeah, everything's good. Letting you know and just giving you a bit of a tale of, yeah, the catalyst of how I got a drone and am now here. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll probably link somewhere up here a video to that original 2-day planned shoot that I did in Gladstone. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.